Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. What we're reviewing today, Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai. All right. It's actually Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai. It's a really long dang title. But this came out on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series S, X, Windows. Developed by Square Enix, Kai Graphics Inc., Game Studio Inc. It is a RPG based on the Dragon Quest anime. Now, that is a very important thing to note because you will watch the anime while trying to play this game. This was released on September 28th and published by Square Enix, obviously. It is a RPG based on the Dragon Quest anime Adventures of Dai. So when you go to Google it, it's kind of hard to find. You got to make sure you put in the game. So that being said, we're going to use Nick first because anybody's a Dragon Quest aficionado, it is going to be him. So Nick, what did you think about watching this game? Because you watched this game.
I did. Yeah, I love Dragon Quest. It's one of my favorites. Favorite series of games, right? In the universe and everything like that. I like the whole thing of Dragon Quest. I don't know why. I just do. So, but yeah, this game is it's unfortunate, really, because you are just basically watching the Adventures of Dai anime. It's not the full-fledged. I mean, it's not like the fully animated scenes. It's kind of like almost like you're reading the manga and they're like flipping through the pages in a sense. And there are some 3D scenes that are really nicely done. But that's pretty much it. But most of it is you watching that. So you just hit the button and you're just kind of sitting back and it's reading it to you. And the characters they have a narrator and then the characters have their voices and things like that. So you don't have to read anything. Everybody's talking and all that stuff. The characters are doing their thing, but you're just kind of watching that, which in a sense, while playing this game, I just came to the conclusion that, I'd rather just hop on Crunchyroll and watch the anime, right? Just watch the anime. Because there are gameplay segments that do happen between fights, and certain scenarios. Like it's not always just boss battles. There are parts where you're adventuring through the dark forest or whatever, and you're just beating up enemies while you're trudging through that. And that pretty much it's what every level pretty much consists of, is just beating up so many monsters on the field. As you progress in the game, you get additional characters that are part of the Adventures of Dai anime, and you get of course, new movesets and armor. Which the armor is not, it's just cosmetic looking, but it looks cool, whatever. But you do level up, which increases your stats, and you also get bond memories, which you can equip. You get new spells and skills. The bond memories give you various different things, like, for example, HP up or attack up or experience gain up, or, various, maybe certain attacks that characters do. It increases those attack percentages for them, and things like that. And so you can collect these as you play through the main storyline. You can also collect these in the tower. Tower of I can't remember what they call it, tower of something, tower of memories or reconciliation or something like that. I can't remember what they call it. I'm sure one of these guys will remember, but anyway, I think the tower is probably the coolest aspect of it in as far as that goes, because in the tower you can upgrade your skills. So you do get money and you get materials and things. You can go in there and upgrade your bond memories, and then you can also upgrade your spells and stuff like that there. And then you can also go through the tower. And if you go through the tower, you basically start, no matter what level you are, you start at level 1 and you go through this tower through 5 floors. And as you're doing that, you're leveling after each floor, as well as gaining bonus stat increases to whatever door you choose. So, for example, 2 doors will appear, one with like a sword on it and one with a shield on it, let's say. And so the sword will get increased attack, and you have different options to choose from to increase attack after you defeat that floor. For example, it might give Dai extra critical hit, or Mam, extra, hit power or something like that. And the other one is shield, which will give you, whatever, everybody's defense goes up, right? Or whatever you choose, right? It gives you different options. So you can go through different floors, and then there are boss doors, which they're a different color. They're like purple. But they also give you enhancements, but they're a little bit harder doors. And then once you get to level 5 and beat the boss there, you then can either choose to progress to the next 5 floors, or you can go back to the entrance. If you go back to the entrance, any bond memories and stuff that you've picked up, you'll be able to keep. If you keep going and you end up dying, then you lose everything, right? So it's kind of like a roguelike type feature there. And as you progress in the story, more floors open up, so you can progress even further down, because when you first open it, you can only go down, I think, like 10 floors. And then after that, it's like 15 and so on and so forth. Right. And there are stuff in the tower that you can get that are not in the main storyline. So it tells you that, letting you know there's bond memories and things that you can get through the tower that you can't get through the main storyline. So it gives you, and you can go to the tower anytime you want to from the main mini map. But other than that, there's really not much there. The combat is, while you do unlock new stuff and you do unlock new skills and new spells and stuff, the combat's very basic. It's very generic. You're really just kind of hitting X, and you do have some X to attack, and that does your combos. And what you're doing half the time is you spend all your skills and everything, and then you're just attacking normally, so that way you can increase or decrease your cooldown, so you can then do all your spells and stuff again, because those do the most damage. So you're just like, it's kind of a game of beat the cooldown, where you're trying to beat the cooldown down so you can do all your spells and everything again. You can switch characters, so you can change over to Pop or Mam or the other guy, I can't remember his name, and then Dai, of course. You can switch characters and play them if you wanted to at any time. You just hit the button to fly on the fly to change different characters, and they have different skills and stuff like that, like being able to heal and various things. You do have items to heal your character with and stuff, but Pop and Mam have healing spells, so that you could pop one of those off, if you're low on health and stuff like that. And as you go through the levels, you can bash like crates and things to get health, or to up your big skill stat, which basically does your ultimate skill in a sense. And then you can also find gold and stuff like that in those things. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, it's like, I wish there was more substance to this game, really. I wish it was more like, I don't know. It's like, I wish it was all kind of like, they could do the Adventures of Dai anime, and that's fine. If it was like you play through the entire thing, not where it's like storyboarded, where it's just told to me, but I'm like actually playing the parts, right? And all the cutscenes just are what's in the game, right? And there's this fully functional, like fleshed out world, right? Because you start on the island. I can't remember where he was found by Brass, which is his grandpa, which looks like a pile of poop or something. But anyway, that guy, you start out on the island. Like, if the island was like all fleshed out, because every segment that you fight in is just a small segmented piece of a map, right? And it would be cool if you just started on the island. Like, it's like almost like they made it like an adventure RPG, where it's like an open world RPG, and like you start on the island, and it's kind of like a starter island, and you go through the story beats and various things like that, and then you get off the island and go to the main island, and like a big grand adventure, right? Where it's just like snippets of the anime as you're going through each part, and just doing all the highlights, hitting all the good stuff while everything else is just told to you. So I don't know. It is what it is. As much as I like Dragon Quest, this game's just okay. Like I said, it really just makes me want to just watch the anime instead. Like, there's not enough gameplay. I just want to watch the anime. Like, fine, just how about instead of releasing a game, why don't you just release the anime to me, and I would have just bought that and just watched the whole thing, right? Because you can call it a game, sure, but then you just let me watch the whole anime. If you're interested in the anime, it's on Crunchyroll. You know, if you have an Xbox, they usually have a free like 30-day or 9 or 3-month trial on there. Go on there and you can watch it. Or if you're or whatever, you know, or you can just get a month of Crunchyroll and just blast through the entire thing if you're really interested in watching the anime. Might be better than playing the game, but I don't know. We'll go on and see what everybody else thinks. Pat, what do you think?
It's a game of wishes, or almost there. Because every time I was playing it, I was like, is this going to open up? Am I going to get to play a little bit more? A little bit more? Just a little bit further? No. It seemed like every time I thought it was going to open up more, it just went into like 4 back-to-back story missions. And then it was like, oh, there's 4 combat missions. And then 4 back-to-back. Oh, I opened up a free mission. And it was like, thank the divine. Once the tower opened up, I was like, oh my God, I can actually play for a length of period without getting interrupted with that. And yeah, and my whole problem is that I'm pretty sure that the majority of this game is watching. That has to be. There's no way that the majority of this game is playing, because there's times where I would sit the controller down and be like, still going. I finished this game I was playing or something, you know, or I finished this YouTube video I was watching. And so by the end of chapter 3, I'm like skipping every conversation. I'm like, skip. And the skipping is tedious. It's like, skip. Are you sure? Yes, skip. You know, skip. And you're like, all right, I have no clue what's going on anymore. You know, by the end of I'm fighting the fire and ice dude, and I'm like, I don't even know why. I'm just fighting him, you know? And then, because it would be different if the whole thing was, as you said, like an anime style, but it's like reading the panels of a manga and they just voice over the panels of the manga. And so you're looking at a picture of Dai and a bad guy in the back and they're going back and forth, and you're like, okay. And then you get a cool scene once you fight or about to fight the big baddie of the area, and it's fully animated. You're like, this is really cool. And then you're like, all right, more back and forth. But I don't like this game because of that. I felt like I didn't get to play it enough. I watched too much and not played enough. And then when I got to the point where I was just done watching and listening, I got to the point where I was like hammering through it and just button mashing bosses, which you can do to a certain extent if you power, because you can out level the area you're in easily, you know, by going and doing the tower, going and do the free quests where you get to roam the zones and kill stuff. But at that point, you're just like, I was over it. By the time I got into the by the end of the 5th or 6th chapter, I was like, I am done. I can't continue. And I think it's only 7 chapters long. So I could have just powered through the last chapter, because I think what I read is it's only like 12 and a half hour long game. I think 10 and a half of that is watching the anime play out. So, so for me, this is a hard pass game. If we weren't reviewing it and I saw the trailers, I'd be like, nope, not for me. Because if I want to watch an anime, I'm going to watch an anime. If I want to play a game, I want to play a game. I don't like games that try to, I mean, what were we talking about? What game? We just played a game not too long ago that's very similar to this. And, you know, and it's just, oh man, what was the game? Demon Slayer. We played Demon Slayer, and it was like glorified Demon Slayer. I mean, Demon Slayer is the same thing. It was like a glorified Demon Slayer episode, but you already knew what was going to happen because you watched the anime. So you're like, I know what's going to happen here. I know what you're going to run into, because the game takes place in like the forest at the beginning of the show, where they send all the young demon hunters to, with all the demons trapped within the wisteria forest. And you're like, okay, I know there's going to be the big baddie with the multiple hands in here and stuff. And so if you watch the anime for this, you already know what's going to happen and what's out there. So I have not watched the anime, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a new story, but I'm pretty sure it just takes its pages from the actual anime. So
yeah, it does.
So,
and a lot of games do this, or a lot of Bandai Namco. They do this a lot with Dragon Ball and stuff. I think Demon Slayer was also a Bandai Namco. The only one that's really done a really good job with something like this was when they did Kakarot. Kakarot was awesome. It was a retelling of the story, but I loved that game, even though it was a retelling of the same thing we've heard 1,000 times. But they just did it right, I feel like, with that game.
Now,
Right.
I'm going to have to disagree with that. I loved Kakarot. Don't get me wrong, big DBZ fan, but they have retold that story so many times.
Oh, yeah,
And
they have.
in every game that they've put out, because 99% of the games all start off with, the Vegeta fight from Z. And then, they slowly, and I mean slowly progress. Now, Dragon Ball Kakarot was good, but I think this game would have been better off with this type of what they were wanting to do. I think it would have been better off with the way they did Naruto in the Naruto games, Ultimate Ninja Storm. The way they ran those, and granted, I'm a huge Naruto nerd, but the way they ran those games, even though they reached in each Ultimate Ninja Storm game, they same god dang story arcs, but they just add the next chapter, and that's all they ever did. But the way they did those originally, I thought were really well done. And this game would have definitely benefited from that, because it was actual, show play for about 2 minutes. And then it was 30 minutes of gameplay. You could travel through the forest, you do your fights and all that. You actually played the goddamn game. You don't here. You hit start, then you hit start again, because they broke up. Like the very first chapter was, 8, 9 sub chapters, but like 6 of them were nothing but cutscenes, and not even good cutscenes. It was still image cutscenes, with a little bit of the anime mixed in. And you're right, it's pronounced manga. Not to be that guy, but it is. It's you're reading manga the entire time.
It's pronounced, you can eat my ass. It's manga.
It's manga. But anywho,
Well, you can mon that ga all you want, all the way down to the end.
Oh, somebody hit a manga nerve. But this game,
Shane's also one of those.
I don't know the Dragon Quest.
Too. It's anime.
No, that's the girl I watch in anime. But the game could have benefited from pretty much any other anime fighting game. I mean, even Demon Slayer, was a much better game than this. And it wasn't that great of a game. It was you got
to play more of it.
You got to play more. Yes, you did get your story beats, but they were done in a better way. I don't know a lot about the Dragon Quest anime. I've played the games, but I've never been into the anime. Never watched it, never tried. Nothing bad about it. I just never done it. Obviously, now I know more up to chapter 3, because at chapter 3, that's what I said, screw this, skip. That's how I got ahead of these guys so fast, because I got tired of reading. I got tired of listening. The voice acting's okay. It's just, give me an actual anime scene, not just a still. That's, if they would have went full, if they'd have put the actual anime in the game, I probably wouldn't have had any problems with that part of it. But they didn't. It's 95% cut still image. And then you get a little bit of the actual anime itself. And then you get a little bit of the, not really cel shaded, but you get a little bit of that end game art style kind of playing out. This game fails on 1,000 levels. It really does. I have no way I could recommend buying this game. It just, unless you are super huge Dragon Quest nerd, no offense, Nick, that'd be the only way I would buy this game. But I couldn't recommend it, because there's not really a game in here. It's a few interactive cutscenes is about all it is, because even the adventure parts are dog crap, because like Pat had mentioned, you can do the free roam place, which is basically saying go to A to B, kill everything in between, maybe bust a couple crates. That was it. And they only take 5 minutes at the very most. And all
the tower was its only saving grace.
Tower was the only good thing. Really, you're right, because it was kind of a chess thing. All right, yeah, you get to this level, you got a door that gives you HP. You got a door that gives you magic. You got a door that gives you shield. Which one do I choose? All right, I'm gonna choose this. Well, crap, I would have been better off if I'd have picked the treasure door. You could pick a treasure door too. That was the only good thing about this game, and that really didn't last that long for me either, because every level was basically the same characters. Everything in the game was like 5 characters long, it felt like. And then you got to Fire Ice Guy, from My Hero Academia, and that was fun for about 5 seconds. So I
swear at one point I was watching Dragon Balls because I kept seeing him go Super Saiyan. And then I was like, oh, that's the kid from Hunter x Hunter. Oh, no, wait, it's back to Goku. Which one is he?
It's the same artist.
It's the same artist, yeah.
But Dai looks like Goku, and he also looks like the kid from Hunter x Hunter.
He does look like prepubescent Goku, yeah.
Yeah, when Goku was still at his tail. When Goku was little and had the tail.
Well, when he was in Dragon Ball. Yeah, the original the Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But, even Dai goes Super Saiyan.
Ball. That's what he looks like.
Yes.
He goes Super Saiyan, what Dai does.
Everybody goes Super Saiyan.
Oh, yeah. That's just...
He goes Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah, it's like, was it Blue Dragon? Everybody, we were all saying this exact same thing.
Yeah, because that was the same artist too, so...
But no, I would not purchase this game. I would not recommend this game. I think this is a lack of a game. And Nick's right. They should have just put the anime out, called it an anime, put it on DVD or VHS or digital or something, and just sold it that way, because there's really not much of a game here to be had. I don't know what the actual gameplay time is. If you were to play the, not the tower or anything else,
hours.
just the story. If you took out all the CG cutscenes and all that, and just the actual fighting, I bet it's 3 hours, if that. But no, I can't recommend this game at all. Not even maybe for $1. Maybe find it at the bargain bin at your local resale shop, thrift store kind of thing. I don't recommend it. And I love anime.
Yeah, I was wishing it was Game Pass. After we got it, I'm like, oh, this is a full price $60 game. Unfortunately, it wasn't
and that's a rip off too. Yeah, because you only get $1.95 in actual gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I wouldn't recommend it either. As much as I love Dragon Quest, I mean, what they should have done. They should have said Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai, and then when you bought it, all it was like a 6-month subscription to Crunchyroll, and then and it just linked you to the anime, because that's pretty much all it was. Like when I was playing or watching, and then somewhat playing, all I could think of was like, I wonder if this is on Crunchyroll, and it was. And I'm like, I'd rather just go watch it on there and just give a review about the anime on Crunchyroll than this, because I'm pretty much just watching this and getting to play like 2 seconds of it. So why don't you just go watch the anime instead? Then we can just talk about the anime.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is one of my biggest disappointments, because I love anime, and this, I was kind of hoping for something, better than Demon Slayer, obviously, but I was kind of hoping for just more, because anime games have been really miss lately. So unfortunately, this was a huge miss and a just terrible purchase. So
it's another strike for Square Enix, right? I mean, they're not doing so hot here lately. So,
well, I believe they were just publishing on this end. So
no, they're part of the developer squad. Kai Graphics, along with Kai Studio.
No, well, they just foobarred themselves again.
Yeah, they.
But maybe the Japanese sales on it'll help them out. But it was not a $60 game remotely.
They do have Dragon Quest, the Dark Prince, Dragon Quest Monsters, the Dark Prince coming out here soon. and I played the demo for that, and that's a lot better. Unfortunately, it's only on the Switch. That makes it worse. But other than that, the demo was a lot of fun. So,
well, I look forward to watching that one too.
And that one's not based off the anime. This one's just it's a part of the Dark Dragon Quest Monsters series where it's kind of like Pokemon in a sense where your main character can't fight, so you enlist monsters as your party and you level up the monsters and they fight for you.
Slavery. Cool.
Monster slavery.
Is that one turn-based combat?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good. I like the turn-based combat one. So
yeah, and there's a demo for it out on the Switch. So if you wanted to check it out, you can go download it on the Switch and check it out. I played it. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really good. I'm looking forward to picking that one up when it comes out. I think later this year. So,
all right. Well, you heard him. Go check it out. All right, you guys got anything else?
I need to take a nap after playing this. So.
Yeah, I know crap. I'm exhausted talking about it. All right. Well, you made it this far, so good for you. You win the bonus prize of being able to hit the subscription button. Hit those notifications as well, and make sure you tell your friends, tell your family, tell your anime friends as well, because we end up talking about anime a lot on here. But let us know what you think. Are you a Dragon Quest fan? Have you played this? Are you interested in this? What do you think? Do you want to watch the game as well? I mean, let us know, because we sure the hell didn't. But until next time, see ya.